Thank goodness they binned off away goals this season, eh?
Oh yeah, definitely. But from a spectacle, like Rio said, amazing game, one of the best games of the tournament so far. But if you're from a Real Madrid point of view, you're probably thinking, lucky, fortunate to come away with only a 1-0 deficit in the game. So still a lot to do, but amazing spectacle.
How will they be feeling? I mean, it almost feels like they've lost the game, but they will go in there feeling brilliant, the Real Madrid players.
Yes,
Three times they were 2 goals down.
They will, and you never accuse City of being naive, but they were at times today. When they were 2-0 up and 3-1 up and 4-2 up, they shouldn't have let Madrid back into the game, but I don't know what it was, whether they were just overly confident because they were so far ahead, so superior, and as soon as they went 2 goals ahead, they started to drop deep. So even the third goal, the Panenka, the penalty, they just had a chance prior to that by Vinicius. They just had another chance by Benzema. And you think to yourself, how's this happened? Yeah. City should just be controlling the game now. As soon as it went to 4-2, they should have just went, right, we are either being solid to the back and keeping it at 4-2, or we may nick another goal and go 5-2. But I'm with the lads. I still think City will score goals and probably win the game over there the way they've played. But they've given Madrid a slimmer of hope, and once they go back there with the fans, it's a different scenario than it has been tonight.
I think a big change in the way the game went, I think, was Stones coming off. I think Stones' injury was it destabilised the City team, and unfortunately Fernandinho at 36 years old having to come in and play right back against one of the most informed wingers in the game at the moment. I think that was a vulnerability then in the Man City team.
OK, well, let's get some instant reaction actually, because Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva are in the tunnel right now. I believe they're with Des. So Des, all yours.
Yeah, what a night. I've got Phil and Bernardo here, which is incredible to watch. Who wants to try and sum up what happened out there?
Come on, Phil. Probably for the fans watching, it was obviously a great game of football, a lot of goals. But we're coming against a team that's won the Champions League many times, and we know if we get the ball away in dangerous areas, they're going to punish us. So something needs to work on in the second leg, and the game's still on. Yeah,
it was a topsy-turvy contest. I mean, you couldn't kill them off, could you, really?
Well, I honestly think that first 20 minutes we were so good. The way we pressed, the way we controlled the game, the way we created chances, and over the 19 minutes it felt like we could have won with a better result, with a better score. Unfortunately, we were not able to take advantage of our 2-goal differences that we had. We had 3 times 2-goal differences. But yeah, that's the Champions League. We play against one of the best teams in the world, and it's still a good score for us. 4-3, 1 goal more than them, and now on to the next game.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch, but I suppose frustrating for you, Phil, and the rest of the side, because you did have the chances to kill them off.
Yeah, it was a great game, and it was end-to-end at times, and yeah, like Bernardo said there, we started really well in the first 20 minutes, and we could have killed them off. I had a chance, and we had a great chance as well to kill them off, and in these games we'll have to take our chances more.
Yeah, they had the experience at this level as well, don't they? They just kind of find a way.
Yeah, but we still won the first game. I know it's just 90 minutes. We have 90 minutes left, but it was a good game. I think our fans should be proud of us. The team should be proud of the work that we did. Yeah, it's true. We could have scored a few more goals, but that's football. I think they took their chances. We could have taken a bit more, but a very good game from us, I think.
Wonderful goal from you, brought you 4-2 up. Then the penalty. That was a bit unlucky, wasn't it?
Yeah, frustrating because at that time I think we were controlling the game so well. With possession, not allowing them to counter, and that goal just came out of nowhere. So yeah, I think we were a bit unlucky.
Bring on the second leg. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, bring on the second leg. We'll take a look at the penalty and plenty more before we come off air. We're on air for the next half an hour. But I think Bernardo's right there when he says, let's just remember we won this game of football, and that has to be the message, surely, from the manager over the next few days. You're leading going into a second leg of a Champions League semi-final.
Yeah, and I think that will be the message. I think if you look at the result before the game, if you're saying you're going to go to the Bernabeu with a 1-0 lead, you take that, but the way the game's planned out, then that leads to the change or the feeling of a chance lost. You could be going there with 2 goals up. I think if at any stage the game's 3-3 and then you score late on and you win 4-3, then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh yeah, that builds confidence and momentum. But the fact that it was a 2-goal lead twice in the game and they called their way back into it gives them a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and it's funny because you look at the Atletico Madrid game in the previous round, and it was a team that said, OK, we'll sit back and we'll wait. This was 2 teams going head-to-head, which makes for exciting football. You can see the fans in here. The emotion in this stadium today was crazy. 1 minute the fans around us, the City fans are up, flying about. All of a sudden, a 2-goal lead goes down to 1 goal. And it happened twice in the game, 2 or 3 times in the game. Where you think, oh my God, we think it's over. We think we've done it now, in terms of a City fan. And then all of a sudden, Real Madrid come back again. And that was the great character. We spoke about experience, didn't we, before the game. Real Madrid showed it.
It was like a couple of boxers just keeping on slugging at each other for the whole game. And I think, sometimes we get so bogged down, don't we, with the specifics of defending and the touchscreen and all the other things. But then you need to talk about momentum in football and the psychological impact of either going a goal ahead or conceding a goal. The game changes entirely.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it, isn't it? Because we've all played in it and we've all experienced that moment.
3 of us have.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to us. No, we've all experienced those moments where you're way on top in a game and you think this is easy, and then something happens, whether it's just a mistake by a tackle, something where you feel the shift changing. And then it's back to the wall and you think to yourself, how have we just got here? How have we achieved this when we should be way, way ahead? And it happened today. It didn't happen today once. It happened, 3 times, 2-0, 3-1 and 4-2. And I don't know why Manchester City started dropping off and allowing Madrid to come back onto them. Because whenever Manchester City went forward in the game, they dominated so much and made so many chances that you're thinking to yourself, don't make a mistake, manage the game, 2-0 up, 3-1 up, 4-2 up, just manage the game. And they allowed...
Is that because it's not Pep, though? That's not in his nature?
No, yeah. But also the pressure. We spoke about that and what it does. We've seen elements of it in both teams. The fact that there was no patience in the defending from either team. It was kind of like, I need to win it at all costs, when sometimes the best decision is to just delay and allow teammates to get back in, which obviously wasn't the case.
Well, it happened with Real Madrid as well. They showed they were naive, even though they were the most experienced team around, because whenever they got to a goal, Manchester City went down the other end and scored and then made chances again. So it's just one of those things, I think. That's what makes us all, everybody who paid the money, everybody's watching on the telly. That's why we come back and see it. How can Barcelona beat Liverpool 3-0 and lose 4-0 with the greatest players in the world on the team? That's why we keep watching.
It's mad, though. You see that City have won it tonight. So you can't be too despondent and too down. But I guarantee you there'll be players in there, there'll be Ferran Bucci, everything all over the place.
The fans trudged out underneath us.
Yeah, because they know what was in their palm of their hands at moments in this game and they've let it slip. But you've got to take that and turn that into a positive. We scored 4 goals here and we could probably score 4 again.
We'll probably score 4 next week.
I mean, that's what you've got to look at it.
All right, well, let's go through it then, because, Bernardo Silva said at the end there, didn't he, in the first 20 minutes, we thought this was going to be a walk in the park, and it felt like it, utter domination.
Yeah, it did. I think we look at the first goal here, when you look at the way that they open them up, Mahrez, who at times was brilliant, but then at times frustrating tonight. But here you see it. But you look here, the ball comes there. You've got we showed this at half time. Cavalli, you can see him looking at the De Bruyne. Rodrigo's looking at De Bruyne there. One of them's got to speak to this man here, Valverde, because that's your man. Once he starts making that run there in that area, you're already opposing midfielder. Valverde's got to see that. But sometimes you need talking to. He doesn't see it. It's a great ball.
But Ree, from a midfielder's point of view, you know your man is Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So when that ball's wide, where is Kevin De Bruyne? Where is myself? And where is he? So I can pick him up. You can't even see him. We speak as a defender. The last thing you want to do from a defensive point of view is make the attacker see a number.
I agree with that, but we all need help.
Yes, 100%.
And you also wonder, Ree, is that, I know we said it again, we say for the second goal, if Casemiro's playing tonight, he's probably there. Yeah. He's probably watching Kevin De Bruyne and following him. Fede Valverde's a different type of midfielder than a holding, sitting midfielder who smells danger. Yeah. Fede Valverde wants to run forward, so maybe he's just not aware, hasn't got the same thought process as a defensive midfielder like Casemiro.
100%.
9 minutes later.
Yep, 2-0. I mean, this is wonderful stuff. Phil Foden at first, I thought at times was brilliant today. Great close control. Gets out of a tight area. But this here, I think for an experienced defender, as the ball comes in there, you just take it back for you slowly. Julian, we said this immediately when this happened. Why are you trying to win the ball there? Yeah. All you've got to do as a defender there in this situation is make him play the ball backwards or let him take a touch. Do not let him turn and face the goal. That's all you've got to do. Just push him back where the ball's come from. The moment you try to nibble, you give the forward a chance.
And he's done the wrong side because now he's turned him inside, so now the whole goal's open. If he goes from the inside, the angle's a bit tighter, but yeah, from someone with so much experience, very, very poor and naive that.
So that was the first time in the night when Manchester City had a 2-goal lead and it looked comfortable. Let's have a look at the first time the 2-goal lead got wiped out and it was that man again.
What I would say about this is that this is not necessarily a City mistake or a problem. Maybe Mahrez could have done better there, but they get a bit of fortune, and this is just all, well, as I said at half-time, just all class really. Benzema's movement, again, is always excellent. He always knows where the defenders are. He's not hurrying up into that space. He takes his time. He almost ambles in. He wants it in that space, stops, then goes again, so he's not offside. Gets across Zinchenko, and it's really nice connection. Yes, it's bobbled, not flying in, but the angle of the punt into the floor and off the post, Ederson can't do anything about it.
Could they have done more defensively there, or is that just...
No, like I said there, you probably question Mahrez, but he offers so much going forward. I don't expect him to win 50-50.
Yeah, exactly.
But in regards to the shape, it looks solid, and they're crossing the ball from a wide area, but it's outside the box or on the edge of the box, and you're thinking, if you're going to have an opportunity, it's going to be from there.
Look, we'll talk about Fernandinho and the challenge that he faced this evening from a defensive perspective. But obviously, he was then the man who came on the pitch and got the assist for Phil Foden's goal. Yeah,
aggressive on the front foot, really going to things, attacking the ball. And it was important in the goal. It was a pivotal moment in terms of creating this opportunity. Yeah, we can pick holes in the way he played, but this was one area that you thought, wow, at his age doing this, fantastic ball. But Phil Foden, that's Raheem Sterling in the last 4 or 5 years, inside the post as a wide man, coming in, smelling where the goals are going to be. It's an easy header in the end, but his position allows that.
He recognises the situation faster than anyone. He's on the move, and all of a sudden it's a free header. And you could question where's Carvalho there, but in regards to Phil Foden, understood the picture and got into the box.
And then this is the exact point, Macca, where you're saying manage the game. Manage the game now.
This was a real ugly goal to concede. Very, very. Do exactly the same again, Fernandinho. And you can almost say, why not? But Vinicius has learned that was a mistake from Vinicius that time.
Do you think because he nicked the ball for that goal?
Yes, he was doing exactly the same. If you see it, it's almost.
I'll play it for you, Macca.
It's almost exactly the same. Phil Mendy plays him the ball, but this time he's alert Vinicius. He knows he's coming and he dummies it. So Fernandinho then needs help off someone, and it should be Laporte. Laporte has to get across. Has to. Forget about Benzema. I have no idea. I mean, these two boys are centre-halves. They might explain it better, but he has to forget about Benzema.
He has to recognise the situation, but also potentially comes from Zinchenko telling him to get across. But I think...
He can see it.
Yeah. If Laporte goes across, Zinchenko naturally comes across then.
And you forget about the wide man.
And what you want to do is make the pass go backwards, because then it's coming into your teammates, so you're delaying the ball going back and you're allowing your teammates to recover, because even Benzema at the end, he pulls away.
But, and the thing is as well, if you look here, look at Zinchenko. Zinchenko's actually marking. He's marking Benzema. So that should release Laporte to get out there and defend against it.
Does he know? Does he know he's marking him? The fact that there's probably no communication, he doesn't know that Zinchenko's in position to pick him up.
The madness of the goal sums up the madness of the night, doesn't it?
That particular goal does, because he runs 50, 60 yards and gets into the 6-yard box when he slots it home without a challenge from anybody, and that shouldn't happen at this level.
And to be fair to Vinicius, today he didn't play well. Got the one chance though, put it in the back of the net. So he showed his quality, but I think Laporte, he could stop that goal way earlier.
We're talking about madness. Let's try and pick the bones out of this one. And the ref was brilliant to play advantage. What impact do we think it had, though, on the opposition, on the defenders, on the goalkeeper?
Yeah, you could say that they're waiting for the whistle to be blown because they see the whistle go towards his mouth. But the old cliche, you play to the whistle. The fact that he's got fouled, and great decision by the ref to play the advantage, but you cannot take nothing away from Bernardo Silva's finish. Yeah, I think that the speed of it, I don't think the keeper is able to react. It's evident that he isn't, because he doesn't move, but he's the first one to react. Bernardo Silva, he picks up the ball and he's surrounded, so is that even an advantage?
First I thought was keeper's got to save it. It's near side. He's that side of the goal, more importantly. But when you see it here, the way the ball just sits up beautifully for him, it's a lovely strike, clean as you like. Look, the ball doesn't move in slow motion like that. It's so clean.
But if looks like he's setting himself, doesn't he?
But if you're picking a scenario and Zinchenko's just been fouled, would you want a free kick for Kevin De Bruyne, or would you want him to pick up the ball surrounded by 3 players? You'd probably want the free kick. So the fact that he's took the responsibility and to do that is amazing.
OK, can we talk about mentality now for a second? When you've missed 3 of your last 4 penalties, a Champions League semi-final, and it's been this crazy to and fro game. Just break down for people at home and people like me that have never played the game of football. At what point do you think Karim Benzema decides to do what he does?
He missed 2 in his last game against Osasuna, and the
keeper saved them.
Yes, keeper saved them, and he's probably thought, or he may have thought, I have no idea. He may have thought that Ederson's studying where he's trying to put the ball. He's probably studied them. He's put 4 there in the last 10. He's put 5 there because he scored a lot of penalties. He's missed 4 this season already, even though he scored all the goals. He hasn't done a Panenka, so instead of him going left or right, he's probably thinking, you know what? Now's the time. I mean.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Mentally, you have to be rock solid, don't you?
No.
I grabbed.